KSC Presence. When this sacred Buddha statue was damaged, the real treasure hidden inside was revealed. At first glance, the golden Buddha seems like a fairly typical depiction of the Enlightened One. There are a few distinct differences, however. First of all, it isn't simply gilded, it's actually made of solid gold. Consequently, the statue has a massive 5.5 tons. Secondly, the statue's story following its move to Ayutthaya almost beggars belief. At some point during this period, the valuable gold artifact was covered in concrete in an attempt to conceal its worth. Scholars believe this probably occurred at some point prior to 1767, when the Ayutthaya kingdom was overthrown by the Burmese army. Following the invasion, the ancient city of Ayutthaya was left in ruins. Burmese forces took everything of worth. Over the years, tales of gold statues having been transported to Burma and then melted emerged. In addition, heads were chopped off stone monuments and subsequently put up for sale abroad. Thanks to its stucco coating and a spot of luck, however, the golden Buddha survived the destruction of Ayutthaya. Indeed, it remained hidden in plain sight among the ruins of the old city for some time, until it was eventually moved to Thailand's new capital, Bangkok, most likely at the beginning of the 19th century. King Yodfa Chulalongkorn had named Bangkok the new capital of Thailand in 1801. He subsequently set about instructing that numerous temples were constructed across the city. Furthermore, he hoped to fill the Wats with important relics, and so he decreed that a search of the country should be conducted to locate images of Buddha to bring to Bangkok. In the capital, the still concealed golden Buddha was taken to Wat Kottanaram. The temple, however, which was based in the Chinatown area of Bangkok, later became dilapidated. As a result, in 1935 it was decided that the statue should be moved to the neighboring Wat Tramat, which at that juncture was a small temple of minimal significance. Given that Wat Tramat had no rooms large enough to house the golden Buddha, though, it was placed outside with just a tin roof to protect it. It remained in this location for 2 decades, in fact. And by this time, the monument's real identity and significance had been hidden from the world for close to 2 centuries. In 1955 a new home was built to house the Buddha. However, as the artifact was moved to this new location, a mishap occurred. The story goes that the ropes that were meant to raise it onto the pedestal snapped, with the resulting impact cracking the concrete exterior and no doubt sending those responsible into a panic. One tale suggests that workers were so worried about damaging an image of Buddha that they fled the scene. Such objects are highly revered in Thailand, in fact. Indeed, they are treated with such respect that it's usually considered inappropriate to touch or even turn your back on them. Consequently, the workers who had overseen the relocation of the Buddha statue were reportedly terrified that they'd brought misfortune upon themselves. As such, the broken effigy wasn't discovered until a day later, when a monk came across it lying on the ground in the temple. Intrigued, the monk went to investigate. It was then that he realized the statue was damaged. However, the revelation led to what must have been a rather unexpected discovery. That's because, through a crack in the concrete, he could see a golden statue glinting back at him. And so the unique Buddha was discovered once more. Work soon began on restoring the statue to its former glory. The stucco coating was carefully chipped away to reveal the 18-carat, 9-foot Buddha in all its glory. Restorers also found a key that provided instructions on how to dismantle the statue into its various components and then put it back together again. Once the golden Buddha had been cleaned up, it was moved to a newly built room in Wat Tramat. There, it could be admired by worshippers for the first time in 200 years. And in recognition of the statue's amazing story, photographs of its restoration and fragments of the stucco were also displayed in the temple. Following its rediscovery, the golden Buddha was thought to be worth in the region of $250 million. The most valuable parts of the effigy are the top knot and the hair. Together they weigh around 100 pounds, and the gold they're made from is 99% pure. But with that said, the sculpture would be deemed invaluable by many of Thailand's Buddhists. The discovery of the Golden Buddha coincided with the 2500th anniversary of Gautama's death, in fact. This only increased the extent to which the incident was covered in the Thai media, and a number of the country's Buddhists came to believe that the rediscovery of the statue was a miracle. Consequently, large numbers of worshippers have since flocked to see the monument. Indeed, donations made by visitors in the subsequent years have funded the construction of a new building in which to display the Golden Buddha. It now sits inside an imposing marble home that spreads across 4 stories. The second level houses a small exhibition documenting the statue's history, and the floor above contains the Yaowarat Chinatown Heritage Center. Now known as the Golden Buddha Temple, Wat Tramat is also still a working monastery. It's nevertheless open to the public daily between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. What's more, its famous statue is free to view, although it costs around 30 cents to visit the corresponding museum. The Golden Buddha Temple is today listed in the top 20 things to do in Bangkok, according to TripAdvisor. The attraction has clocked up more than 7,000 reviews on the site, the majority of which describe it as excellent. And thanks to these glowing write-ups, the temple has an overall rating of 4.5 out of 5. Summing up their visit to the Golden Buddha Temple in December 2018, TripAdvisor contributor Dar-D55 from Valparaiso, Indiana, wrote, "This place is amazing. So much to see. When we were there were monks there praying with all and blessing everyone. I felt wonderful afterward. This is a must for any tourist." Meanwhile, commenting on their visit in November 2018, Imustad wrote, "What an amazing find. I think the most amazing thing about this Golden Buddha is that for 650 years it was just a cement Buddha, until some careless forklift driver dropped it, broke it, and then they realized, hey, this thing's solid gold. What an amazing, amazing thing to see."